Number 29, Adiel Melendez. His catcher, number 15, Blake Morrow. Our umpires, ladies and gentlemen, working on first base and down the right field line, Mr. Rob Holmes. Working at second base and in center field, Mr. Mark Morgan. The umpire at third base and down the left field line, Mr. Harold Hitt. And working behind home plate, Mr. John Dowdy. And getting the ball game underway for Team Red, number 25, Donovan Dubison.
Well, welcome back to ESPN's Wide World of Sports, Champion Stadium for our nightcap. Actually, I guess we can almost call it a morning cap. I'm joined here in the booth, Bernie Gunther and S30 Task Force Director Johnny Hernandez, and we are bringing you the 14 and under top prospect game, Team Red versus Team Navy. We're in the top of the first inning.
Yeah, man, like you said, good evening, good morning. It's just another day at the office
there you
for
go.
both of us. So any day that, anytime that we're on a ball field, whether it's playing baseball, watching baseball, it's definitely a good opportunity for us. So definitely want to welcome the crowd on Facebook Live. Shout out to everyone on Infield Chatter. Johnny Hernandez here with Matt Trevisan and Bernie G, how I call him, here set to go and get ready to watch these 14U Select 30 prospects playing the last game of our event for this year, and we concluded this year. How it went by so fast. Matt, what do you think about that?
Yeah, it was here on Monday and it was gone today. Donovan Dubison is at the plate. He has drawn a full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes, and he is facing off against Adiel Melendez, and Melendez picks up the strikeout to open up the first frame in this, our final game of the evening, and it will be in 4 more minutes, the first game of our morning.
Exactly.
The next morning.
Yeah, and then, up to plate right now, it's Radek Burkholz, and, Radek is a shortstop. He's actually from Highlands Ranch, Colorado, and his favorite team is the LA Dodgers, and I wouldn't think this, but, when you have a middle infielder, saying that Clayton Kershaw is his favorite Major League Baseball player, I would assume that he's got some pitching in him. But needless to say, Adiel opens up with the strike here, fastball on the outer half of the plate to catch the corner. And one of the most memorable moments for Radek is actually making the semifinals out in one of the tournaments he had, but also making a Select 30 and, being able to be invited to our championship. So that's good to know, that Radek, has his most memorable baseball moment as of right now is being invited to the Select 30 by the task force.
Well, that, Johnny, that's kind of been the theme on a lot of these sheets, a lot of these player bios throughout the day today. Of course, this is our 6th game of the day, so it has been a very, very long day for the broadcast team, not to mention the on-hand staff, the task force, the operations support staff and everything. But that's been part of the part of what we've seen, is that with most of these players, this is the biggest event that they've come across. And just bottom line is, because in every age division we started somewhere maybe 100, 110, 120 players, and narrowed it down to the Select 30, so to speak.
Yeah, and it was definitely not an easy task to take on, but it's something that our guys in the task force, definitely got through. and we just get to kind of enjoy some good baseball around the whole day. It started with our 9U. It's going to conclude now with the 14U, and as we all know, these 14U kids are the actual next, hopefully graduating class coming through in the high school session as far as the college recruiting process is concerned. So it's very good and very neat to see this kind of unfold. Rated draws base on balls now, and now hitting we got Albert Padron. So one of the things with Padron, as far as the scouting task force is concerned, Padron comes in very, highly recommended and talked about a lot in our scout meetings, where he's one pitch away from hitting the ball out of the yard. He's a corner infielder, so it's something that we look for. And his nickname is Cubano, and Rated is safe at second.
On the move, on the pitch, and beats the rap at second base, picks up a stolen base here in our 14 and under top prospect game here in the top of the first inning. 1 down, 1 ball on the batter, Padron in the box, and Melendez on the mound for the Navy team. He's the starting pitcher, and he'll go the first 2 innings, and then every pitcher after him will go 1. They've got a 6-man staff on this Navy team, just like the Red team, 6-man staff, so the starting pitcher goes 2, and every other pitcher on the staff goes 1. So basically what we got is a 7-inning ball game with 6 pitchers. So that means we got like 5 closers.
Yeah, that's what it is. We kind of put it together like I heard you mention earlier in the broadcast, where it's kind of like a American League, National League, All-Star game where the starters usually go 2, and this is the oldest age group. We took into account the pitch counts, obviously, throughout the course of the week, and we're able to make sure that these kids are healthy to throw 2 innings. So it's something that goes along with our task force, just kind of making sure, kids are in a position to succeed, on the ball field, off the ball field, but we definitely want to take care of the arms. So you're going to see, Ariel Melendez for the Navy team throw 2 innings, and then Patrick Turner out on the Red team throw 2 innings. So, that's how we got it shaped up here for our big boys.
Padron runs the count even at 2 apiece, 2-2, 1 out. Runner on second base.
I gotta stop here. His nickname is Cubano. So it's Albert Padron. That's how Cubanos, and I'm Cuban, so I'm just saying that Albert.
So
Padron
you can say that. You can say that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Padron is not the correct way, but it's Padron.
It looks like Padron to me.
It's okay.
I guess if we put a T in it, it would be Patron.
Patron, yeah.
And that one I would be able to say.
Yeah. So here hitting now is Patrick Turner. He's actually the starting pitcher on the Red team, but he's going to come in and hit 4th for the Red team, and he definitely showcased himself well, not only on the mound but at the bat as well. So Adiel's going to be very careful because Padron can definitely do some damage with the bat as well.
So Turner steps into the box to face Melendez. 1 strike on the batter. 2 outs here in the top of the first inning. We are just underway at midnight sharp. It is now Sunday, and we have been here since we threw our first pitch at 8:05 Saturday morning, and we are just now in the top of the first inning. 0-2 count on Turner.
And Adiel is working quickly, just getting ahead of the hitter. 0-2, he looked for a breaking ball out of the zone or fastball about 4 inches out the plate, make him chase, and there's the breaking ball where we get a nice play over by the second baseman for Navy. on the, Florida Marlins, and sure enough, he was from the University of Miami, and I'm from Miami, and I was able to see Johnson play. And
you coach in Miami?
Yeah.
What's the school you're at?
ASA College in Miami. It's a junior college program in Miami. So, doing that and giving back to the youth game, and putting this all together for them, because at the end of the day, it's for them.
Ezra Mason leads off the bottom of the first for the Navy, and he is facing Patrick Turner of the Red Top Prospect Squad.
Yeah, Patrick Turner's a big right-handed pitcher. He's going to go ahead and he'll pitch 82, 84, and he has topped out at 85 this week. So he's just going to go ahead and go ahead and throw the fastball and see if he can blow right by you.
I love to see a pitcher, especially early in the ball game, come right out and attack the strike zone and dare the hitter to hit his pitch.
Yeah, and one of the things that, especially, being part of the pitching side of it is, all the pitchers got to get ahead. They got to throw first pitch strikes. The other thing that, the pitchers need to do is they have to win the 1-1 count. I mean, there's a difference of about 200 points in, position players' batting average when, the pitcher goes ahead and wins the 1-1 count.
You know the best way to win the 1-1 count, right?
Throw a strike.
Go 0-2.
There you go. I got you. Ezra grounds out to short. Get a nice throw by Radic Burkholz to get the first out of the inning here in the 14U Select 30 Prospect games.
Burkholz, the shortstop, on the throw over to Ethan Strait, the first baseman for the Red Squad. And that is going to bring Nicholas Costello to the plate, the center fielder for the Navy squad. He's going to step in against Turner, and we'll see how the lefty deals with the heat that Turner is bringing to the dish tonight.
Yeah, and Costello's an outfielder from Pleasanton, California, where his favorite Major League Baseball team is the Oakland Athletics. And it's pretty cool because I have one of my best friends. He's actually in the Major Leagues right now. And he actually came up through his Major League debuts with the Oakland Athletics. So it's pretty cool to see that, and just being able to know that one of these participants, his favorite team is the Oakland Athletics, where I had one of my best friends participate in the Major League Ball Club with the Athletics. So it's a pretty cool experience.
Yeah, the baseball world is a tight-knit world, and actually I heard an interesting thing about the Oakland A's this week that I had never heard before, and I looked it up to verify it. But back in the 80s, the Oakland A's had a special vice president to the owner of the Oakland A's, special vice president to the owner, and that special vice president was the man that we all know as MC Hammer, the rapper.
There you go. Can't touch this.
Before he was in music, he was a special vice president to the owner of the Oakland A's, and the story goes that the owner of the A's at that time lived in the Midwest.
Okay.
And every afternoon at 5 o'clock Pacific time, Hammer would lock himself in his office and call the owner and kind of give him a report on what was going on in the front office that day. He was the eyes and ears of the owner, of the absentee owner, so to speak, of the A's. Ground ball to short.
Burkholz again picks up and makes a nice throw. Gets him on the run.
And Strait manages to hold the bag.
That was a great play.
Keeps his foot planted on the corner, holds the base, gets the out.
What a great play by Burkholz, as you'll see it again, where he rounds the baseball and just shoots it over, and Strait able to stay on the corner of the bag to get the runner Nicholas Costello out.
A great stretch by a right-handed first baseman. I apologize, left-handed first baseman. The replay was backwards. That's what it was.
Okay.
There we go. Stepping into the box here for the Navy team, Blake Morrow, the catcher, number 15.
Yeah, Blake Morrow's he's going to be a special player. As he heads into his high school years. I mean, there you go. He doesn't get cheated on his swings. But it's going to be power versus power. I mean, you got Turner coming in throwing 83, 84 miles an hour, and Blake Morrow knows that he's going to come out here and try and beat him with a fastball, try and get ahead and get the bat head out through the zone and see what he can do with it. Fouls off a slider on the outer half. Now you got Turner up in the count 0-2. See what pitch he comes to. If I'm Turner, I'm going fastball up and away, try and change the eye level. And if not, if you're going to go 1-2, maybe throw a breaking ball. But we're definitely going to see what this pitch is going to be.
Well, let's see what he goes. If he goes to the tank for the gas.
Lifts a fly ball out to left field foul line for an out. So Turner works a quick 1-2-3 inning here at the bottom half of the first inning, where we go coming together for the development in the youth baseball community. So I'm definitely, appreciative and humble to the fact that I'm able to play a role into assisting these ball players, develop into the players that we know they can be.
Yeah, and a key piece of that, a key ingredient in the success of this program, of course, was the Major League Baseball's Players Association.
Absolutely.
And stepping into the box right now is our extra hitter, number 29, Brady Patterson. And he will also face Melendez. Melendez is our starting pitcher for the Navy squad, and he's going to pitch the first and second inning. And then he's going to be followed up by Huggins, Ford, Toledo, Baffa, and Carmona is going to shut it down for the Navies. And there's a blast into mediocre right field, and it is hauled in by Joel Lindahl.
Now stepping to the plate.
So just like that, one pitch, one out, and into the box is first baseman Ethan Straight. We saw Ethan in the bottom half of the first inning make a couple excellent plays over at first base. Of course, we know on that long stretch he was able to hold his toe on the corner to get the out. And, I saw such incredible defensive skill sets in these players all week long. It was really neat. I was telling Bernie in one of the earlier broadcasts, and we have a ball down in the zone. I was telling Bernie, I said, I had an opportunity. I was on field 5, and they had outfielders out there.
Yeah.
The whole field was full of outfielders. And I actually managed to snap a picture of it on the MLBPA's infield chatter app, which, of course, we'll talk about later in the broadcast. Count goes 2-0. But I was able to snap this picture of, get ready for this now, Michael Tucker, Brian Jordan, Marquise Grissom.
Wow.
All three of them on the same field at the same time, instructing the outfielders. Now, what do those three players have in common?
They all played for your favorite team,
They all played for the Atlanta Braves. That's right. And it was at that point that I realized, geez, it's no wonder the Braves ruled the 90s. I mean,
but I will tell you, in the 97, though, when the Marlins, were able to beat the Braves in the 97 National League Championship Series. So,
wait a minute, Johnny. That was Eric Gregg's fault.
Okay.
That was Eric Gregg, the home plate umpire, calling pitches that were 17 inches outside the strike zone, calling them strikes. So I'm going to have to kind of tank that one for you just a little bit.
I got you. Now hitting is Ethan Strait. He's actually from Kansas City, Missouri, and he just wears a fastball here. Adiel was trying to get on the inner half of the plate, and he just got a little bit too much. That two-seam just ran in way too much where, it lands Ethan Strait at first base.
It's nice to see right there as Melendez went about halfway to the baseline there just to make sure that Strait was okay. The sportsmanship that we've seen this weekend. And I think part of that comes from the fact that every player on both of these Select 30 squads, all 30 players, 15 on each team, they all have such a respect
for each other. They're both playing at a high level.
Not just the ones on their team, but even the ones on the other team. They have such a respect for each other because, hey, look, they've all gone through the same thing to get here.
Oh, yeah, they've gone through the same process. I mean, it's been the same process, across country. But, the fact that, and here we go, trying to get a little hit-and-run action right now.
Now, let me tell you a story about Bo Trucks as he steps into the plate here. He's the catcher for the Red Squad. On Monday afternoon, in the first set of catcher drills, Bo caught a wicked pitch in the dirt. They were doing blocking drills. Off of his ring finger on his throwing hand. Had to go to the hospital, and he has a hairline fracture in his knuckle on his throwing hand. And he was back on the field Tuesday afternoon in his team's first instructional game.
Well, that's what you want from a catcher. I mean, especially, in the Major League season, but, high school, college, and these youth baseball, tournaments and events where, you're going to need to rely on a catcher. And definitely, being tough in that aspect is something that we look for. So we definitely took that into account as, as we see a strikeout here. The umpire, So it's a strikeout here. I believe the runner needs to go back to first base since first base was occupied.
No, the runner's going to be allowed to stay at second because the ball was live, but the batter is automatically out because at the time of the pitch, first base was occupied.
Awesome.
So that's going to bring up Nathan Stanley, the left fielder for the Red Squad. Runner on second, 2 outs here in the top of the second frame. Still looking for our first hit in this contest.
And, got some trouble finding the ball. Allows the runner to advance to third base. Now it puts, again, the Select 30 red team, it seems like they like to get on the board and early, right?
Right.
So that's something that, the Navy team has had a tough time managing. But, I will tell you, the way how the draft works is, we have our task force members sitting in the war room once we get the final 30 on our end before it's released to the public, and then they'll go ahead and just draft certain players, certain positions. We do it. We select the players in order to make a conducive roster for a game. And it is right, I heard in the earlier broadcast where the position players are playing pretty much the whole game, where we have 10 guys hitting in the lineup and the pitchers are throwing 1 inning apiece. But the draft, it gets heated in there too. I mean, they have their draft orders, they have certain numbers that they got to pick, and our task force members have spent the majority of the time with our players. So who best to select the players and draft the teams is the Select 30 task force.
Well, they're the ones that saw them all week long. Down, of course, It wasn't quite that much. And there we get a strikeout, and that's going to end the the top of the second inning. So we've played 1.5 frames. We got no score, and we still have no hits on the board. We'll be right back from Champion Stadium at ESPN's Wide World of Sports.
Qualifying is on to be a Boomba All-American, and this year's USSSA All-American Games have been expanded to create more opportunities for more players. This year, there'll be 24 regional showcase tryouts that will select 2 teams per region with 12 players on each team, allowing the athletes to compete in an average of 22 innings of play during the tournament. Also new for this year is a 3-game single-elimination championship bracket. Get evaluated in hitting, running, and 2 defensive positions of your choice for your chance to qualify for the Boomba All-American Games. Get more information at USSSAallamerican.com.
Their first hit and their first base runner of the game. It's kind of funny in that our day started at 8:05 a.m. yesterday morning on the East Coast, this morning on the West Coast. I guess actually it would have been 5:05 a.m. on the West Coast. But it started with a pitcher's duel in our 9 and under game, and it ended up being a rather high-scoring affair. David Jean steps into the box.
Yeah, it started off, really early, but it's all worth it. At the end of the day, it's for these kids. So, we're looking forward to see now Patrick Turner in this matchup with David Gian. David Gian's a corner infielder. He's actually out of Coppell, Texas, and his favorite Major League team is the Texas Rangers, and his favorite Major League Baseball player is, Yu Darvish. So, an interesting fact of, David Gian, as a matter of fact, his father is from Korea, and his mom is from China, and he was actually born in America, and, being able to start baseball at 10 years old. So he's played the game for about 4 years, and, how he's able to develop and, get on this platform for an opportunity to play at this type of event is really special. As you see,
solid ball hit to shortstop, and Burkholz has a little trouble with the handle on it.
Now stepping to the plate, number 33, Anthony Orozco.
He was probably rushing himself to get to that baseball where, we tell our infielders, they attack the baseball, and then once you get it, try and throw over to first base. But nevertheless, the error causes for the red team to put a base runner on board. So now we have
Anthony Orozco, first baseman for the Navy squad. He is going to step in the box. and he is going to face Patrick Turner.
Yeah, Patrick, I mean, the first inning had a 1-2-3 inning, and let's see if he can induce a ground ball, possible double play. But Anthony, they call him Big T, and there's a reason for that. Lifts a high fly ball over to third base, and we got Albert Padron under it to record an out.
Now batting, number 23, Tommy Ramos.
So shortstop Tommy Ramos is going to come to the plate for the Navy squad with one out and a runner on first.
And one of the things, Tommy Ramos, he's from our area down in Miami. And I will tell his older brother is actually playing with the Baltimore Orioles in the minor league system. So he was drafted out of high school, and his older brother Milton Ramos was a great middle infielder. I mean, I had the chance to see Milton, and it kind of runs through the bloodlines where Tommy's being able to make an impact here at the Select 30 prospect game. So we'll see if he can kind of one up his brother, see what he can do here.
Baseball DNA.
Oh yeah,
Bernie and I have been talking about that all day. The baseball DNA, in the fact that just it's amazing how many second and third generation professional baseball players there are, basketball players, football players, all the big sports. Just generations. It's the athletic DNA in the body. You're just born with it.
Yep. So we got a 1-1 count. Let's see if Patrick can win the 1-1 count right here with this next pitch. Look for a breaking ball away. Oh, tries to go with the high heat.
Just about the time we think we've got these guys figured out.
You would think.
They throw us a breaking ball.
Yeah, right. But I mean, it's good though. It makes it. Hey, I'm going to trust my fastball, and this is what I'm going to stick with, and that's refreshing to see out on the mound right now by Turner.
Well, I've always thought, Johnny, 2 balls, 1 strike count here, 1 out, runner on first. I've always thought that as a pitcher, in the mentality of a pitcher, is what's my best pitch? And for most people, it's their fastball.
It should be the fastball.
It's their go-to. Yep. And I've always thought that from a mental standpoint, you know what? You're going to have to beat me. Runner on the move.
Got him.
And we got to
throw.
And we got a tag on the foot before the hand hits the base.
Bo Trucks with an absolute missile down the second base as we see
and
it.
And remember, that's with a hairline fracture.
With the hairline fracture, right?
Absolutely. On his throwing hand. That's right.
Burkholz is definitely playing some stellar defense.
Let's take another look at it. On the pitch, he got a great jump. Just a beautiful throw, and look at this snag right there on
tag.
the heel.
I mean, to see these kids at 14 years old just kind of play the level that they're at. I mean, and it's spread across all age groups that we've seen this week. I mean, just the talent that was brought in from our regional task force members to our task members here in Orlando, and bringing these top 30 kids out here and watching them play. It's amazing. It's a great experience.
Well, Johnny, you mentioned the task force, and of course, a large portion of your task force was here this week for the event. But in all honesty, the task force consists of these knowledgeable baseball people in 22 different cities around the country.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't realize that, and unfortunately, travel baseball as a whole tends to get a bad rap sometimes about being about the money, and it's a money grab and this, that, and the other. But if you really sit down and think about it for a moment, and you realize that what's involved in assembling a set of scouts in 22 different cities, with air travel and hotels and meals and rent-a-cars and just endless amounts, of expenditures. It's really, really costly, and we'll get back to that. We've played 2 complete here at Champion Stadium in the 14 and under top prospect game, and we still have zeros across the board. We'll be back.
Funny thing about the overnight success story, it doesn't happen overnight. It starts here. Here. And here. And after all that, you still gotta earn it here. When you step in the box, You gotta be focused. You gotta forget the dugout. Ignore the crowd. You can't worry about the guy on the mound, because in the end, there's only two things that really matter at the plate. You and your bat.
And then up to plate right now for the Select 30 Prospects red team is Mike Morley. Caleb falls behind on the count, 2-0. See what Morley can do here up in the count. This is where right now you just got to try and find yourself to get back in the count as a pitcher. You know, you never want to fall behind, but now 3-0, just trying to dot up a fastball here, get back in the count and put yourself in a position to hopefully get a batter out. And Morley draws a walk.
Marley draws the base on balls.
And up to plate right now is going to be number 22, Jake Renner, for the red team. Jake Renner is a starting second baseman for the Select 30 Prospects red team. Out of Caleb finds his way back in the strike zone now, getting ahead. And a little bit about Jake Renner. His favorite baseball moment was he had in the park home run, and actually he tripped coming into home plate. So that's something fun and a memorable moment as we get a pass ball, which allows Morley to go to second, heads up, trying to extend himself to go to third. And Morrow threw him out at third.
Maybe just got a little too greedy there. Slow track, too. You know, the runners have to think about that when they're on the base paths. With the field being so soft and is wet, and the amount of rain we got in such a short period of time, it's going to be a slow track. And that's one of the little things that you have to keep in mind when you're on the base paths.
Yep, and that's something, too, after that play where, you know, John Brown, and here you see the pass ball by Mara Morley going to second and thinking about going to third, and takes off, and, you know, Morrow just throws him out by about 5-10 feet. You know, but it's something where you got to take what's given to you. But that's a great teaching tool where, you know, John Brown, our task force member over at third base, was able to talk to him after and just kind of letting him know, hey, this is a situation, you know, you don't want to go into this. You're already going to be standing up at second and being put in scoring position. But needless to say, that's one out for the Navy. And you get a strikeout. And we go Merrill.
That was Jake Renner, the second baseman for the Red Squad.
We go down to the top of the
And that's going to flip the order and bring up Donovan Dubison.
That was key, too, on that strikeout where, you know, Merrill gets himself a clear throwing lane to first base to record the out.
Yeah, you know, that's that's something that has really become emphasized, even at the major league level now, on those pitches in the dirt, on those swinging third strikes. A lot of times you'll see that catcher, sometimes they go 5, 6, 7 steps into the infield grass so they get that clear throwing lane down the first base. The last thing you want to do is plunk a batter in the back as he's running down the third baseline on a drop third strike.
And the count goes to 1-1. Here to Dubison. Caleb throws a fastball in the inner half. Gets the count now, runs it to 1-2. Just a bit outside. Two seam that just ran away on him. Caleb thought he had the strike 3 call, but needless to say, we got the count run out 2-2. Now Dubison puts himself in a situation where it's 3-2. So we're going to see what Caleb does here to try and record an out for the Navy team and get him back in the dugout, see if they can get something going offensively.
Cheese.
Straight cheese.
We've played 2.5 here at Champion Stadium, ESPN's Wide World of Sports, and we are still looking for that first straight number on the scoreboard. We'll be back.
Qualifying is on to be a Boomball All-American, and this year's USSSA All-American Games have been expanded to create more opportunities for more players. This year, there'll be 24 regional showcase tryouts that will select 2 teams per region, with 12 players on each team, allowing the athletes to compete in an average of 22 innings of play during the tournament. Also new for this year is a 3-game single-elimination championship bracket. Get evaluated in hitting, running, and 2 defensive positions of your choice for your chance to qualify for the Boomba All-American Games. Get more information at USSSAallamerican.com.
And welcome you back into the lights here at Champion Stadium.
The leadoff batter in the
Bernie got the Matt Trevichon, Johnny Hernandez with you on the other side of midnight. It is Sunday morning here on the East Coast. Of course, Saturday night as Cole Payton out of Omaha, Nebraska's coming out to throw here. It's been all about the pitchers here in our final spectacular game of the day. What a brilliant day, what a brilliant week of baseball it has been, Matt, as we see for the Navy team. Ryan Rose, extra hitter, coming to the plate. Got a chance to call your first Pride game.
Hey, Bernie, you're not going to hear me complain about anything other than the hour. Laced foul down the third baseline.
Ryan Rose, nicknamed Junior. Diamondback fan from Arizona.
Somehow Junior just does not fit.
I don't think so either. This is a guy that looks like kind of in like slow pitch softball, kind of like that Greg Cannell type frame that he could hit one and blast it off the flagpoles out there. We've seen that actually when it comes time for the Men's Major World Series that we're going to have on USSSA Live in a couple of months.
Actually, it's not even a couple of months, Bern. We're talking, let's see, about 6 weeks.
Comes in a hurry, right?
Yeah, it does.
Got a couple of great people watching tonight on Facebook Live with us well past midnight. Appreciate you guys joining the conversation. We are behind because of what was a much more substantial rain than we thought that it would be. started as a drizzle, and then it became a downpour.
Straight up Central Florida summer monsoon.
Three-two pitch popped up. This one's going to drift and track out of play into the first row.
And Richard Mays from Peachtree City, Georgia, snags that foul ball.
By the way, just saw as I was checking out some of the great infield chatter work that they had in that Peachtree area. I didn't realize, I guess, that Georgia State had moved into the old ballpark of the Atlanta Braves. They've converted it into a football stadium now.
Yeah, Turner Field, of course, home of the 1996 Summer Olympics.
Correct.
That's why Turner Field was built. Of course, it wasn't called that. It was called Olympic Stadium for its first 6 months of existence. And then as soon as the Olympics left in 96, the Braves moved in 97, and they tore down the old Atlanta Fulton County Stadium. Well, now the Braves, of course, have moved 15 miles north up into Cobb County into the beautiful SunTrust Park. And Georgia State University, the big school in downtown Atlanta, has purchased the Turner Field complex along with 2 hotels and 2 business office buildings nearby there. And they are converting Turner Field back into what it basically originally was when it was built in 1996. And Georgia State's going to play their home football games there. They're moving out of the Georgia Dome.
Right.
And then where Atlanta Fulton County Stadium used to be, Georgia State is erecting a brand new baseball field for their baseball program. So they're basically moving their entire sports program out of the middle of the city, a little bit on the fringes, so to speak. It's still considered downtown Atlanta, but it is south of the Capitol now. It gets them out of the Capitol Avenue traffic, which is just gridlock 24/7 in downtown Atlanta, right there by the Capitol. So a lot of big things happening there.
Joel Lindahl III out of Las Vegas, Nevada at the plate. It's kind of the spot where if you're traveling, say, from Tennessee down to Florida and you're traveling through Atlanta, you start to feel good when you've gotten down to where Turner Field was, just because as you get there towards Atlanta, Hartsfield, Jackson, kind of a little bit, if you will, out of that really major congestion then, aren't you?
You are. Well, you got one more area to go through, and that would be Henry County if you're on 75 South. Henry County is the fastest growing county in Georgia. It's also the unofficial home of Georgia USSSA baseball.
Okay.
The big Atlanta Super NIT is held there in Henry County. The 550 plus team tournament that's played each spring in Atlanta. A Select 30 Super NIT at that.
Yep.
A lot of golden tickets issued out of that event this year. But once you get past Henry County, then you basically got smooth sailing all the way to the Turnpike.
I like that. Daniel Wright from Apollo Beach, Florida. Rays fan. Evan Longoria, his favorite player. Nicknamed Dano.
Book 'em, Dano.
He's basically a pitcher and an outfielder because he lists himself as a center fielder, a right fielder, and a left fielder. Could have saved some penmanship and just wrote OF. Wow. That was one where if we were one booth over, sometimes we have historically, we've been here for a decade, at least in my part, doing these broadcasts. Of course, baseball, slow pitch, softball, the Pride. Sometimes we do the broadcast out of broadcast booth B, which is right next door. And we actually would have had a chance to catch that foul ball on the last one, but being that we're in broadcast booth A, no chances. Went towards B.
I would have been all over that one. I'd have barehanded that one, whipped it right back over the screen, right back onto the field of play, and they'd be using the ball again right now.
And if only I knew that it was coming, I would have filmed it, and it would have been a perfect new post for you to be featured on Infield Chatter as we see Wright hit by pitch.
Yeah, Infield Chatter is the new Major League Baseball Players Association app, and it's very similar to Twitter and all the other social media things, except it is nothing but baseball. and it's really a great app, and it's a great opportunity. It's available in the Apple Store. It's available in Google Play, and you actually get to communicate with and interact with Major League Baseball players, current and past.
By the players, for the players. Download it at the App Store. Get it now on Google Play. Real easy to sign up. You got a Twitter handle, Instagram handle. You can just add them right there and get yourself in. Of course, you can add a brand new email address and kind of join the conversation. I know that a lot of the major leaguers have been very interactive on Infield Chatter as well.
Yeah, I've had a lot of fun with the Infield Chatter this week. Me personally, I've never been one to really have a lot of time to do the social media. I actually have a very sweet lady in my office that kind of handles most of the social media for me. But I decided I'd give myself a little shot at it this week with the Infield Chatter, and picked up about 150 followers in 5 days, and just have really had a lot of fun with it.
Pump up on the right side of the infield, called for and caught by Jake Renner, the second baseman. So, are we going to see the real Matt T on some other platforms now, or is it?
We may possibly do that. Maybe in the off season, I'll have when things slow down for me a little bit in October, November, and December. I might have an opportunity to do a little of the social media myself. But right now, those plans are still just a tad bit up in the air. It's a little too early to call. Kind of got my hands full with the Infield Chatter right now.
Adel Melendez at the plate.
He tossed the first 2 innings for the Navy squad, and now he's going to get his one of his at-bats of the game. The way the rosters are set up on these 15-man top prospect teams, take the 2 15-man rosters and add them together, and that's where we get the select 30 out of. But the way the rosters are put together is you've got your position players, and then each staff has got, obviously, or each roster has got an extra catcher. You got to have an extra catcher. They have an extra hitter, which roams around and plays a few different defensive positions, and then each roster also has 6 or 7 pitchers. And we use a very unique lineup in that there's a revolving pitcher spot in the batting order, so that these guys that are, and we're going to have a pickoff there at second, a beautiful spin move off the back of the rubber, and caught, I believe that is, well, I'm going to have to say it's Joel Lindahl.
Bouncing ball flipped on the infield, and the defense cleans things up in a hurry.
Bernie, I'll tell you about the special revolving pitcher's position in the batting order when we come back.
Can't wait for it. about the revolving pitcher batting position as we went to break.
It's a unique thing. Okay, what you got to understand, Bernie, is these pitchers, except for the starting pitchers who each threw the first 2 frames, the second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth pitchers will all pitch 1 inning. So if you're the guy who's slated to pitch the 3rd inning, you're going to throw 1 inning in the 3rd inning, and then you're done for the day?
Yep.
Well, look, 14 years old, I think it's a tad young to be declared a PO. A pitcher only. So what we've done is we've created a spot in the order to where after we get past the second pitcher, he later in the game will come up and have an at bat.
Interesting.
Yeah, and it's just to get them continued action in the game. They've worked here all week. The one thing about it is any player, 14 years old or younger, you're more than just a pitcher.
Micah Ford at the plate. Lance Tippett tells us that he's from Hurst, Texas. Sometimes they get a little more specific than the parents get in the bio. Even though you may live down in Harmony, Florida, if you're putting your son's bio on there, especially for something like this, you might go with Orlando because obviously people geographically may know the area a little bit better.
No, I'd actually go with Harmony. You know why? Because in Harmony, Florida, we all live in harmony.
Do you?
That is God's country out there with the cattle. It's a sweet piece of heaven out there.
Burkholz takes the pitch outside. The nice thing you've had is our office has moved from Kissimmee, where it was the old spring training home of the Houston Astros, over to Vieira, where our production crew is watching the game then on a very dark night now because the stadium lights are off. They're the only people there hanging out on floor number 3. The drive is probably basically about the same, no matter which way you go, right?
Yeah, it took me about 25 to get to the Kissimmee office, and it takes me about 35 to get to the Vieira office, which is still 35 minutes too long.
Albert Padron, the third baseman.
Padron, just like Patron, but a D instead of a T. I was corrected in the first inning by
Johnny Hernandez is coaching us up, right?
Right. But his nickname is Cubano. And I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say that or not, but I'm going to go ahead and do it.
Hey, stylish. It's all about the style. Padron struck out at his first plate appearance. Now grounds this ball foul down the third base line.
Now, if we're going to talk about style, Bernie, we're going to have to talk about at the real Matt T on Infield Chatter.
Well, we know you got style. Actually, you toned it down for the opening ceremony of this one, I think. Are you going to ramp things back up, I would assume, for the All-American games?
Yeah. Monday morning we'll be doing the opening ceremonies for the All-American games, and I'll be in full dress uniform for Monday morning.
I don't expect anything less than that, as this one is ripped back up the middle. Is that our first hit of this game?
That is it. We finally got our straight number on the board. It only took...
Just in the wrong category.
It only took three innings and 1 out to get to it.
Now coming to the plate, number 26.
Yeah, but once we get that straight number, then we're much easier to get that other straight number that we're looking for.
Padron, here he is, ripping it back up the middle out of Tampa, Florida. He's the firstborn in America for his entire family.
Wow.
This is Turner.
Oh, and a pickoff at first base. What a super quick right-handed move from Micah Ford for the second out of the inning. Nullifies the base hit. And Patrick Turner is in the box with a 1-1 count. Pitch in the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike, and 2 outs here in the top of the 4th frame in our 14 and under top prospect game. You know, Bernie, I'm going to tell you how you can tell it's been a long day.
Okay, tell me.
When we started our first game this morning,
Yep.
there was dew all over the outfield.
That's true.
Here we are in our 6th game of the day.
The dew is coming back.
The dew is back. That means you've been here a long time.
Yeah, our crew has worked really an incredible day. Actually, ironically, the camera operators, 2 of them that we started with in the morning, those are 2 gentlemen that are still holding down the fort. Control room, holding it back in Vieira.
And me and you holding it down right here.
We're still looking for our first run. Moving on to the bottom of the 4th inning.
Funny thing about the overnight success story, it doesn't happen overnight. It starts here. Here. And here. And after all that, you still gotta earn it here. When you step in the box, you gotta be focused. You gotta forget the dugout, ignore the crowd. You can't worry about the guy on the mound, because in the end, there's only 2 things that really matter at the plate. You and your bat.
Descendant of Philip Livingston, who was one of the original signers of the Declaration of Independence. He's rung the Liberty Bell on the 4th of July. It's a fair ball. Wow, nice pick on both corners. First over at third by Padron, and then over at first base by Ethan Strait.
1 out. Stepping to the plate.
Able to back in on both sides of the infield.
Number 12, Nicholas Costello.
Here's a look. First the pick at third. And sometimes you got to pick it at first base as well. I'd like to say hello to Laura Marshall, watching the game tonight in Texas, cheering on Micah Reese. It's Nick Costello from Pleasanton, California, an A's fan. He's thrown a perfect game and a no-hitter at 12U. He's retired, though, on the infield. Oh, wait. I spoke too soon. Ethan Strait, the first baseman. He picked one, but he couldn't pick the second. What do you got cooking there on your infield chatter?
Oh, just putting a little late night or / early morning post. You know, see if we can get a little bit of mojo
the content going for your followers.
Right.
They kind of expect.
They expect it, right? I just can't just because it's 1 o'clock in the morning Eastern time. I just can't I can't sit back and just not post.
Sometimes you get some of the most creative content socially to pop up in the middle of the night when people are a little bit tired, maybe posting some of the things that they don't typically post. And if people are on infield chatter right now, there's obviously a lot of great content coming from the Major League Baseball side, so they want to get some new content up there. If you're awake, why not hang out on the Infield Chatter app, especially if you're following the real Matt T.
Now coming to bat, number 17.
I couldn't agree with that more, Bernie.
We had to have driven you up about 10, 15 followers tonight, right?
Yeah, I think so. And let it be noted nationally and publicly that I'm not the one that did that selfish plug there. Bernie did that one for me.
Just trying to get your viewership numbers
well,
up.
Ironically, right now, my previous post of the double rainbow earlier tonight, when the rain finally subsided, I had the post on Infield Chatter. A rainbow over the field should guarantee we play at the Select 30, and that is actually the featured post on Infield Chatter right now, all across the world.
Hey, we were guaranteed. How about that?
There you go.
It was right. You're right on the money.
And that post was made by the real Matt T.
We'll give you a fist bump right now.
I think I like the fist bumps the best.
David Chiron. 2 on. Nobody out. Pitch brought in and fouled straight back. 1 and 2.
Actually, Bernie, the one post or the one message that I got this whole week right here is this one right here. When I woke up this morning,
Yep.
I got a new like, and it says, "Yo, Tony Clark just liked your post. How cool is that?" So
That is
tell me,
pretty cool.
who's Tony Clark, Bernie?
He's the head of the PA, the Players Association.
He is the executive director of the Players Association. He was also a great player.
You guys must have bonded this week.
I think
just
we
likes
did.
your content.
He likes my content. I think what he really likes is all the activity that's surrounding at the real Matt T.
Stepping to the plate now, number 33, Anthony Orozco.
It's an investment in the real Matt T is just not an investment in content for the top prospect game. I'm going to assume you're going to create some content and keep it going next week with the All-American Games, right?
Most definitely I'm going to do that. In fact, I'm going to let everybody who's participating in the All-American Games next week, all 96 teams, that they all need to download the Infield Chatter app also.
Anthony Orozco, first baseman.
You figure I might be able to pick up another 300 followers next week.
That's true. I would tell them when they sign on, the first thing you got to do is just grab their smart devices for a moment just so you can make sure you follow yourself, set up their account, give them the phone back. That's all about the process.
In fact, I may even set up an express table at player registration tomorrow for the All-American Games.
That's true.
And I could just sit there and automatically load the app for them and go ahead and have them following at the real Matt T.
Sounds like a job that Dan Stone could take care of for you.
I don't know if he could see over the table.
That's true. There we go, the first run of the night in this 14U game. Navy on top 1-0.
Costello scored.
The Power Brokers watching. A couple of booths over from where the Power Brokers watch the men's major. Dan Stone and that company. Ground ball. Nice recovery, though, to end the inning. Navy pushes across the first run of the night. It's past 1, and we're playing baseball at Champion Stadium in our final game of the night. Navy on top of Red by a run after 4 innings. Well, you know, it's a late night when they are playing our producer, director, and TD. His favorite song, Derek Luke, he loves the bop, bop, doo-wop. From what I understand, he just got married a couple weeks ago. Just fresh from the honeymoon, got a chance to go watch the Blue Jays up in Toronto. Was up in the Buffalo area.
Number 6.
And as you see, Matthew Toledo on the bump. And Derek got a chance. This is one of the songs he was dancing to at the wedding.
Wait a minute, Bernie. Who goes to Buffalo for their honeymoon?
Niagara Falls.
Okay. Who goes to Buffalo for their honeymoon?
Our producer-director. Derek Luke's enjoyed it. He enjoyed it. Wanted to go
Brady Patterson
to the Sky Dome. Watch the Blue Jays play.
Been there.
Beautiful little venue. Of course, Derek's got some family from that part of the world too, so it's a good excuse to go up there and celebrate. Now being Mr. and Mrs.
On the south side of Chicago. It used to be New Kaminsky Park. I got to Old Kaminsky Park, but to New Kaminsky Park, and it's got a sponsorship name now. I got to catch that one. I've got to get to Citi Field in New York. I've been to Shea Stadium, but I got to get to Citi Field.
Runner going the pitch inside gets by as Ethan Strait is at the plate.
And then, unfortunately, there'll be one ballpark that I will never get to, and that will be Yankee Stadium. I didn't go to the old one, and I'm surely not going to go to the new one. But other than that, so I guess I've got three left on the list that I've got to hit, and I will have seen all active Major League ballparks, which is something on the bucket list. And fortunately for me, I have a wife who's just as wacko about the game as I am, so she takes it in too. But then again, if I put her on an airplane, she's happy.
Why no trip to the Cathedral to Yankee Stadium?
Never. I refuse to.
Yeah?
Will not do it. I didn't go to the old one, and I won't go to the new one.
2-0 Ethan Strait fouled back. E-Dog, they call him from Kansas City. It's the interesting fact about Ethan. He does everything right-handed. He eats, he bowls, he writes, but he plays baseball throwing left and batting left.
That's almost as messed up as my son Dan Stone.
Yeah?
Dan does everything right-handed except throw a baseball.
Wow.
He throws a baseball left-handed.
Remember earlier today we had an ambidextrous pitcher.
We did, and we watched him switch back and forth depending upon, he always pitched from the left when there were runners on base or when a runner on first, and then when the runner stole and got to second, then he switched over and pitched to the right, and this was while the same batter was in the box.
Red team trying to tie it right back up here in the top of the fifth of 7 innings. That they'll play a full 7 innings, have you? Don't you worry, nobody will be cheated. Wow, that one went through the wickets over at first base.
Look at there, Bernie.
But a heads-up play after the run gets scored to come back and get the out. So you really like that. Cole Payton into the games. They stay with the play. Excuse me, Anthony Ordosco over at first base. First it goes through the wickets.
Billy Buckner style.
Then he got a little help from his friend. And you got to like that when your teammates are taking care of you.
I love to see defenses that will throw behind a runner. And that was the pitcher covering at first base.
Yeah, Matthew Toledo did a great job of racing over to cover the bag. souvenir for the faithful. The A crew watching the game now. Bo Tux.
I don't see a lot of movement from that group to go get that foul ball.
It's all about the souvenir for the family members at home. You might want to get an autographed baseball. I would think they'd be trying to get the autograph from the real Matt T.
2 outs.
At the real Matt T.
At the real Matt T.
Number 17, Nathan Stanley.
Nathan Stanley with 2 outs. I guess unofficially it's going to be the final week of some big USSSA baseball tournaments here at the ESPN Wide World of Sports Complex.
Well, we will actually, I believe, return the weekend of Thanksgiving.
Okay.
And we will have, I believe, our first Select 30 Super NIT of the 2018 season.
Okay.
It'll kick off Friday morning after Thanksgiving, and we'll play through the weekend here. Traditionally, that has always been the kickoff of the big Super NIT events, and of course, last year it being a Select 30 Super NIT, which means golden tickets were issued, and players were selected from that Select 30 Super NIT to come participate here in the Select 30 Championships.
Yeah, I had wondered whether that would be here at Champion Stadium or at the Space Coast Complex. I don't know whether it's too early for Space Coast to be at 100%.
Yeah, that's really the problem is that if we knew for sure 100% that we'd have 15 fields online ready to go the Friday after Thanksgiving, we could schedule it there. But you don't know how the weather's going to, when you get a monsoon every day for 7 straight days, it kind of impacts construction schedules a lot. So it's
the same predicament that the Nationals and the Astros had in their new complexes. Obviously, everything got opened up at their new spring training home, but there's a moment where a hurricane may have wreaked some major havoc on things as Nathan Stanley is retired. But the red team able to tie it up. Navy coming back when we come back to Champion Stadium. We got Ryan Musgrove on to pitch the 5th inning. Turner pitched the 1st and the 2nd. And then now we're going to see 5 other different pitchers. He's from Perrysburg, Ohio.
For Team Navy, number 23, Tommy Ramos.
Tommy Ramos is going to bat and lead things off. Matt Tribuchon trending right now once again on infield chatter. Showing that we're still at it. The games must be played. Obviously the tricky conundrum whenever we're here, and it seems like we find ourselves in the pickle, is it's not like there isn't a tomorrow. So it's either now or the opportunity and the memory for these 14-year-olds just wouldn't happen.
No, and I myself would have a really tough time going to bed at night for a long time, knowing that these boys did not get their opportunity in the limelight that they've deserved and earned this week. You know, this is so much more than just a baseball game, Bernie. You know, you got the walk-up music, you got the Jumbotron on with the player cards showing. You know, the batters step into the box and there's their face on the board, and, you know, just like in a major league game.
Yeah, it's a huge night for these individuals.
And that's a big deal.
Ryan Rose. There he is. Sabrina Saunders did such a nice job creating the look and feel. Of course, the player cards created as well over the night for these players. And, you know, we don't have Brian Rose's. We got with us Luke Ramsey's little player card. How about that for a little bit of style?
Eight of those and a piece of bubble gum, and I'd be right at home. Little miscue in right field, but
the defense, the name of the game. It's the one thing, these two teams staying with the play, making the out, and some base runners that have made, obviously, some base running errors as well.
yeah, I kind of think everybody's forgotten how slow the track is tonight. Not a night to be showing off your world-class speed.
Now batting, number 31, Joel Lindahl.
Look at that burn. On Infield Chatter right now, the featured post on Infield Chatter, rainbow. A rainbow over the field should guarantee we play at the Select 30. And look at that, 5 fist bumps.
There you go.
Now, of course, the reason it's probably featured is because nobody else is awake right now.
It's baby steps. Joel Lindahl at the plate, outside corner, called a strike. Lindahl walked into the third inning. There's 2 away here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Lindahl's going to draw the walk.
Now coming to the plate, number 7, Daniel Wright.
Well, of course, there it is. Infield Chatter. Connect with their favorite players. They were doing a dance contest earlier this week, boogieing down. Players trying to show their groove.
This kid's cutting the rug pretty good there. Watch his head.
Some major style points.
I think he hit his head right there.
Didn't even have a whole lot of room to work there.
No, he was in a tight quarters. While we were watching those posts there, Bernie, wild pitch and the runner moved up to second.
Navy trying to get back on top after they led by a run at the end of the 4th inning. Daniel Wright takes the pitch. 2 balls and 1 strike. Throw down to third, skied into left field. They're trying to score a run. Here's the throw to the plate. It's a bullet, but it's late. Navy able to take advantage of a miscue, and they're back on top. Couldn't have even gotten him with a good throw. Just too quick out of the gun there. And now Wright
draws the base on balls.
Is going to get aboard.
Now stepping into the batter's box, number 16, Caleb Huggins.
Now, Caleb's walk-up song precedes him by about 20 years.
Style points, you know.
I know all about that.
You know, the beard is back. It's almost like we're trying to go back to the 70s again.
I was clean shaven when I got here this morning.
Yeah? I can believe that.
Our camera guy was too.
Now things are starting to get a little scratchy, I guess, right?
Yeah. I'm thinking, what's for breakfast?
Guess the IHOP is open, right? Waffle House. Good news is some McDonald's that are open late and they serve breakfast all day.
Yeah, and there's a McDonald's on site here at Disney.
Is there?
Yeah. Get right back out there on Osceola Parkway and go down to the next intersection. The ramp's on the right, take a left back up onto the bridge, and McDonald's is right there on the left.
3-0.
Wow, it's pretty sad that I know that.
Huggins from Burnsville, Mississippi. Base on balls, and there's 2 on.
Huggins draws the base on balls. Brings next to the plate, number 6, Todd Baffa.
Todd Baffa, pitcher for the Navy. Hoping that he can bring a new sensation to the
On the batter, number 6.
parents watching.
Toledo.
Excuse me, Matthew Toledo is the batter. Somewhere down the line at 120, you're just following along with the PA announcer.
Yeah.
One didn't quite make it into the upper deck.
You know, I can tell you, Bernie, in the 14 summers that I've been coming here for the Elite World Series and in other events that we have run over the years, I've gotten out of here late.
Yep.
A lot of times. There's been years where we've just been pummeled with rain day after day after day, and it was nothing for me and my staff to get out here. By the time we finished playing, get everything ready for the next day's play, you know, you got all the books and everything that got to be ready for the site coordinators and game cards and all that stuff. It was 4 a.m. I mean,
wow.
And then you turn around and you're back at 7, and you turn around and you get pummeled with rain again, and you're here till 4 a.m. and you come back again the next day at 7, and it just goes on and on and on and on and on. The difference here is that, granted, it's only, I guess 1:20 in the morning, but I'm not 35 years old anymore. And it's amazing to me how this old body just can't do it anymore.
Well, I guess the moral of the story is we just need a dome. And we would have been done 9:30, 10.
Well, we don't actually have to have a dome. If we had an artificial surface, we could have got right back to playing too.
Yeah, but the positive view with the dome, the lightning doesn't even hold you back. You just play right through it.
I didn't think of that. You're right.
Obviously, when we build our dome, we're going to make it grounded. So we can strike the top of the roof. There's a balk.
Wright scores on the balk.
If only we can get a couple Powerball numbers, because I think that's probably the type of financial resources it may take for this dome to be built, though.
Well, how many numbers you need for the Powerball, Bernie? Because I see them up on the scoreboard. I'm going 16.
Yep.
I'm going 2.
Yep.
1.
Yep.
22.
Okay.
3.
Okay.
And 11.
I think you're probably pretty close. You can't enter till next week, though.
Oh, okay.
Which one's your Powerball? That's the question.
Oh, the 11.
The 11?
Yeah, last one.
Tapped on the infield is short. Nice little pick over there by the first baseman, Ethan Strait.
That's about his third nice pick tonight.
Navy tacking on 2 in the 5th, leading 3-1 as we head to the 6th.
Qualifying is on to be a Boomball All-American, and this year's USSSA All-American Games have been expanded to create more opportunities for more players. This year, there'll be 24 regional showcase tryouts that will select 2 teams per region, with 12 players on each team, allowing the athletes to compete in an average of 22 innings of play during the tournament. Also new for this year is a 3-game single-elimination championship bracket. Get evaluated in hitting, running, and 2 defensive positions of your choice for your chance to qualify for the Boomball All-American Games. Get more information at USSSAallamerican.com.
Texas. Michael Marley coming to the plate in the 9-hole for the red team, trailing by 2 here in the 6th inning. Haven't had a whole lot of real big hits combined. Officially 4 hits in this game.
Yeah, 4 hits and 4 runs. You know, it just dawned on me, Bernie, the rate we're going here, we will finish up just about the same time that the Japanese stock market opens up on Monday morning.
Okay, perfect. Jake Runner lines it foul. Upper deck is active tonight.
It really is, you know. Actually, I'm thinking we got more people sitting upstairs than we do down.
Hey, I'll tell you this. The crowd downstairs, I've been to a couple of games at night that were supposed to be filled with a bunch of people, and you may have more people still at this one than those particular contests involved.
Yeah, well, this group behind this third base dugout here, they've been rowdy all night. There, a good shot of the upper deck. Down the first base line behind the dugout. You know, Champion Stadium is the only 2-deck stadium in all of spring training baseball.
Yeah, you taught me that one.
Isn't that amazing?
That is amazing. Because actually, you'd think that with this one only seating about 8,500 in the stands, and of course I think they can get to 10K if you include the berm and all that stuff. And you hear about these new facilities in Arizona where they're in the 10-12 range, you'd say it's got to be bigger. But as we see this one hit by Jake Runner out to right field, it's happened on different levels. They're going to say they never tagged him.
Runner with the double.
Runner slid right around the tag Mason, the second baseman. See if we get a good, clear look at this.
Now batting.
He got around it. There's another look. Here we go one more time.
Dalton Herbert.
Great call by the umpire. Right on top of it, too. Close enough to see it, but not too close to where he got involved in it. Allowed the play to develop in front of him. Excellent umpiring.
Dalton Herbert is your batter. Swings and misses.
Bernie, I don't think I've ever seen you broadcast leaning up against the stool.
It's the 1:30 a.m. call.
How far is your drive to the house tonight?
Hey, better since we're here and then in being in Vier, only about a half an hour, I guess, so it's not too bad.
Okay. So I'm only about 15 minutes further than you.
Now stepping to the plate, number 24, Max Zedema.
I'd call it off our net return monitor, but it's not quite real time since it's going to Vier and coming back here.
That's right. How about that tricky return to Back to the Future move we played tonight during the rain delay?
He's got a chance to call the old Pride game. They get to listen to us for 3 innings. Got a couple of Pride faithful that actually was asking where we can follow the real Matt T on Twitter, and I said, not yet. It's happening. It's an evolutionary process. For right now, you got to go to infield chatter.
Yeah, I want to drive the traffic to infield chatter. I think it's a great place for baseball people to talk nothing but baseball. It doesn't have all the other garbage that you see on the mainstream social media outlets. It's baseball people talking baseball. And Bernie, you've known me long enough, and you know me well enough to know that that's my groove.
Yeah, you love baseball, that's for sure. And, of course, trying to get back to these young, aspiring athletes and make this really a memorable week. And I think even before the athletes got selected to this top prospect game, I think the majority of them would tell you that this was an incredible week for them.
Yeah, I got several emails for parents thanking USSSA and thanking the Players Association and the task force for what a great week they had. And it really was, Bernie. It was really, really unique. Of course, I had the benefit that I've been here since we started on Monday morning, and been through the whole thing. So I've seen it all develop over the course of the week. And it really was a first-class show all the way around.
Bases are loaded for Cole Payne with one away. Our Facebook Live audience, by the way, is asking for a random fact of the half inning to keep them moving and grooving at 1:30. What's your random fact here for this 6th inning?
You want a random fact?
Yeah.
This is an easy one. What player in Major League Baseball World Series history has the highest batting average, highest career World Series batting average with a minimum of 40 at-bats?
Chopped on the ground, thought about going to second and said to go back to first. They'll trade a run for an out. Thought you told me there was Marquise Grissom.
Bingo. Marquise
so
Grissom.
I guess for the audience watching right now, it's a good random fact.
Yeah.
Luckily, I've heard it a couple times, so I knew the answer to it. So it makes you sound a little smarter since I've heard this line.
You know who didn't know the answer to it?
Number 9, Arthur Codilla.
Marquise Grissom.
He didn't know that?
He didn't know that. He didn't know that either. We had a Q&A session with the parents. The Players Association had a Q&A session with the parents on Tuesday morning. And different things came up about, parents were asking all kind of questions about playing multiple sports and training too much and how much is too much and rest and this, that, and the other. And then we got into talking about some of the peculiars that the players were, what they'd accomplished in their career. And Dave Winfield, of course, all kind of accomplishments that he reached, and that came up. And I will tell you that at the Real Matt T was the one that brought that up, because I actually stumbled across that statistic, I don't know, several years ago, just doing some basic research. And when I mentioned it, a slight collision there at first base, but everybody's going to be okay, bounces right back up. And anyway, so when I brought it up, Marquise didn't even realize that he had a career World Series batting average of .390.
We'll give you this. You got a minute to come up with another one, because we've got another half inning when we come back. Red gets a run back, but they still trail by a run. Back into the lights. ESPN's Wide World of Sports. Navy team coming to the plate.
Team red. Number 9, Arthur Cornilla.
Arthur Cornilla is the pitcher.
All right, Bernie, our producer, Derek, back in Vieira.
Yep,
He's looking for a random fact.
he is.
All right,
Put him on the line.
I got one specifically for him.
Okay.
All right, now, of course, I can't hear him, but I believe you probably can, or you can contact him. Who is the only pitcher
For Team Navy,
that is in
number 6,
the National Baseball Hall of Fame
Matthew
Okay.
Toledo.
that was a 300-game winner
Number 26,
Okay.
that
Micah
never won a Cy Young Award?
300-game winner that never won
A Cy Young
a
Award,
Cy Young Award.
but is in the Hall of Fame. And there's only one.
All right.
So we'll let Derek mull over
Derek
that
will
one for a minute.
Put you on the clock here. Let you buzz in when you're ready. Derek goes with Nolan Ryan.
Guess again.
If he gets another try. Micah Ford, pitch foul back.
I'm going to give him one more chance.
Yeah, you got to give him 2 cracks. It is 1:30 in the morning. 1:35 to be precise.
And tell him to put his smartphone down.
It's a base hit back up the middle. Yeah, you can always cheat nowadays.
Yeah, no smartphones, Derek. This is just like trivia at the bar.
Now I'm going to, this is just me.
Now don't
Thinking
give him
out
the
loud.
answer,
No,
Bernie.
I don't know
And
the-
don't think out loud, okay?
Number 32.
Let's wait for Derek to come up with his answer before we start thinking out loud here.
All right, so he wants you to give him the whole scenario one more time.
Okay. 300-game winner, never won a Cy Young Award, and is inducted into the National Baseball Hall of Fame.
They play baseball in the South.
Not going to answer anything like that.
Isaac Kimura, the
Who?
batter.
Tell Derek he's on the clock.
The good news is he can hear you back in Vieira.
Yeah, but I can't hear him.
He said John Smoltz.
Wrong.
Was he on the right team?
No.
No?
Smoltz won a Cy Young.
I was thinking through all the great pitchers you have.
Here's your answer, Derek. I hope you're sitting down. 300 wins, never won a Cy Young Award, and is enshrined in the National Baseball Hall of Fame.
He wrote Cy Young. Is that who it is?
Cy Young.
Yeah. So he actually, that was before I read off his his John Smoltz.
Yep.
But he wrote it more as a Cy Young back to us, more just like spitting something out. It wasn't a real confident answer.
Obviously. So he figured I was going to come up with an Atlanta Brave. That's what he generally assumed it was an Atlanta Brave.
That's what I was assuming. That's why I asked you if the team played in the South.
Yeah. I actually know a little bit more about baseball than just the Atlanta Braves.
It's good to know.
Maybe not a lot, especially at 1:30 in the morning, but a little bit.
Don Baffa is the batter.
I'll tell you, Bernie, if you ever do get a chance to go to Cooperstown, what an incredible place. You know, the actual town of Cooperstown is nothing but a hole in the wall in the most rural part of the state of New York. But, you know, what happens there that week every year is just pure magic. And the whole entire town solely exists around the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, it's an incredible experience, I'm told, getting up to Cooperstown and obviously taking everything in. NFL, of course, just recently got a chance to be heavily involved with things. See, the runners advance to second and third. Hall of Fame induction for the NFL, I think it was last night or the night before. Kind of blurring together now.
Well, that all depends on what day it is.
Yep.
Is it Sunday or is it Saturday?
It is Sunday now.
Well, I don't know. I woke up, it was Saturday. You know, I got on the air at 8:05 this morning, or 8:05 yesterday morning, or whatever day it is, whatever time zone I'm in, I don't know anymore.
3-1.
I do know one thing, though. The Navy squad is hanging on to a one-run lead here with runners on second and third. They got 2 men in scoring position. And Todd Baffa is at the plate. He pitched the 6th inning for the Navy squad, the top of the 6th. And now the bases are juiced.
Yeah, they're loaded up, and they have the big batters grabbing their weapon of choice.
Bases loaded. We go now to the top
As
of the
Mason
order.
at the top of the order,
Ezra Mason.
coming to the box. With a chance to do something special. Ezra Mason. Want to make sure the pitcher, the catcher, everybody's on the same page here because the red team, they're down only a run.
Really?
They got him. Look at that. It's pretty impressive.
Not a bad way to get the first out of the inning, huh?
Great throw from second base to home. Looked pretty tight at the plate. So Derek's trivia question back to you. The shortest player to ever play in Major League Baseball.
Oh, that would be the midget. Can I say that word? That's not very PC, is it?
We'll try to keep it PC.
The little half guy.
Yeah.
His number was a half. I believe he played for the White Sox.
Base hit. Bases
If I'm not mistaken.
1 out.
He only played one game. Actually, he only had one at bat.
Really?
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, and I don't know his name, Derek, I do not know his name, but if I'm not mistaken, he was brought in as a pinch hitter near the end of a White Sox game, and immediately don't make me read this. Eddie Goodell, 3 feet 7 inches. St. Louis Browns. Okay, he was immediately brought in. He was brought in as a pinch hitter, if I remember correctly. And the then commissioner of baseball, Kennesaw Mountain Landis,
Yep.
who his name is an interesting story itself, but he immediately notified the owner of the Browns that was not going to be allowed. So if I'm not mistaken, he got one official at bat.
I wouldn't think that the word traveled quite as fast as it does nowadays. Was that smoke signals to get the message across?
Well, that's back in the days when the games were on the radio.
Yep.
And the actual broadcaster would be in the home city. Ooh, look out in the dugout, guys. Where the broadcaster would actually be in the home city sitting in a studio with a ticker tape in front of him. And he would actually call the game off the ticker tape.
Right.
And they had fan noise, and these broadcasters would have two little pieces of 2x4, and there was a base hit. They'd smack the 2x4s together, and it sounded like the crack of the bat. And this is really going back a long ways, obviously, but
ball's going to get away, and the 4th run's going to score. So you're telling me essentially that we've got it easy now. We don't have to clap our blocks together to make the sound of the bat.
No, and we also don't have to listen to the ticker. Spitting out the tape on what's going on in the game.
Looks like we may have a new pitcher. We'll step aside from Champion Stadium. Navy leading 4-2. as they take it all in here. As we approach 2 in the morning.
Well, it's official, Bernie. I am the only member of Infield Chatter that is still up and posting.
There you go. Line drive, base hit out to right field. Castillo adds on at least one more. It's 5-2.
Costello with the base hit to right field, scoring back up.
Can't say this is the first time that I have sat in this chair well past midnight, and with the men's major still to be played at this facility, hard to imagine that it would be the last.
Number 15, Blake Morrow.
Well, it would only be fitting, Bernie, on the very last day of this inaugural Select 30 Championships.
Smashed by Blake Morrow back up the middle. Maybe it's because originally we had talked about having the final day of competition be Saturday and Sunday, and lo and behold, it actually is Saturday and Sunday.
Just like the way you wanted it, Bernie. All worked out.
3 runs here in the 6th inning.
Number 17, David Gian.
David Gian now.
I see you got back up in your stool.
Moving around is the key. Got to keep the blood flowing.
Yeah, my blood gelled about a half hour ago.
So Gian, it's only an out. They threw it down to second, and they cut the throw, or else I think they would have gotten him.
I believe so. You know, Bern, this is our 13th game together, working together. Well, 14th if we count the Pride game.
Okay.
This is our 14th game working together this summer. And when this one's complete, we will have 6 more on the schedule.
Gian into center. Misplay. That should have been out number 2. Instead, the 4th run here in the 6th inning. Here we got a full morning to afternoon slate of games for the All-American games on Friday. Same thing on Saturday.
Yeah, we'll kick off the All-American Games Championships Friday morning. I believe we start about 9 a.m. We'll have our 9 and under, and then our 10 and under, and then our 11 and under championship games.
Popped up. This could be tricky as well. In short right field, did he get it? He did. And there is a double play to end the 6th inning. Sometimes when you double them up, it isn't always perfectly clean. But when you can dive in and make the play and end the inning, it works. Take another look. Beautiful. Diving grab.
And the immediate wherewithal to jump up and get that ball into second base to double up the runner.
Qualifying is on to be a Boomba All-American, and this year's USSSA All-American Games have been expanded to create more opportunities for more players. This year, there'll be 24 regional showcase tryouts that will select 2 teams per region with 12 players on each team, allowing the athletes to compete in an average of 22 innings of play during the tournament. Also new for this year is a 3-game single-elimination championship bracket. Get evaluated in hitting, running, and 2 defensive positions of your choice for your chance to qualify for the Boomba All-American Games. Get more information at USSSAallamerican.com.
Just look at how they scored. Navy got on the board first with a run in the fourth. Red added a run back in the fifth, but then Navy has exploded with 2 more in the bottom of the fifth, 4 more in the bottom of the sixth. So they got a 7-2 advantage as we bring you back for the 7th inning. Ryan Musgrove is your batter. Got a note earlier tonight that number 34, Kirk Allen Martinson from the red team and Caden Akana from the blue team, they played baseball together since kindergarten. When Kirk pitched with a broken hand, Caden would play shortstop and would catch the ball for him, then hand it back to him. Amazing the relationships that some of these players have. Of course, the time. One away.
One out.
And a little bit different because Dalton Herbert has come in and pitched. We have an understanding that this will likely be more like a traditional baseball game. If the red team doesn't get on top, there would be no bottom of the 7th inning.
Which kind of sounds a little crazy to even be talking about that, but you know, once again, as we've done all day long today, regardless of what the score is, you play a full, complete game. Even if that means the home team is winning, you're still going to play the bottom half of that last inning, and that is so that last pitcher gets his inning on the mound. But because Dalton Herbert replaced Konia in the bottom of the 6th and faced 5 batters, got the 2 outs, he's at his limit, so basically there's nobody to pitch the bottom of the 7th inning for the red squad. It would just be like if the game had a tied score at the end of 7, we would not continue play. Because ultimately, as I've stressed all day long and into the wee hours of the morning, that the safety and the health of these ball players is so much more important than what a score on a scoreboard is.
Red team down to their final out.
Zadima awarded first base, hit by the pitch.
Max Zadima hit by the pitch there. He'll move on up to first. And that is going to bring Cole Payton to the plate. Cole pitched the 3rd inning. And now here we go to what I was talking about earlier, Bernie, with the rotating pitcher spot in the batting order.
Yep. Seen that a couple of times. Play a big role, especially for these pitchers that in the game, not completely out of it because they know that eventually they're going to have to do it again.
Yeah. 14 years old, all the way down to 9. That's just a little too young to be declaring yourself a pitcher only.
Cole Payton is your batter.
2 outs.
Red team down to their final out. Pitch in the dirt. Two and one, up and outside. That'll make it 3 balls and 1 strike. He's going to draw a walk.
Payton draws a base on balls. Now coming to the plate, number 9.
Still a little ways away from having the tying run come to the plate.
Well, the tying run's actually in the hole. Which is closer than I would care for it to be.
Here's Arthur. Ground ball snagged by the shortstop. And he throws across the diamond. The ball got loose. Here's a throw to the plate. Everybody's safe. Another run comes in for the red team. It's 7-3.
You know, Bernie, I'm going to take this opportunity real quick. I want to thank a few people. Obviously, I want to thank Derek, our producer back in Vieira. He's in the studio there all by himself, all by his lonesomes.
Oh, he's got Blake Bickerstaff, who's running the score bug.
Okay, so he's not there by
We
himself.
also have Alex Ludwig. We'll give him some love running replay.
Okay, so I'm not going to thank him then.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding. I'm going to thank all three of them for hanging with us tonight. You know, I know it's been a really long day for all of them, too. Our cameramen who have hung with us since 8:05 this morning when we went on the air. Yes, I realized that you were here before 8:05. You know, the task force that put in such long hours this week to make this event possible, Major League Baseball Players Association, my staff of summer interns that what we called operations services, you know, they helped out the task force, they helped out the PA, you know, whatever it took. There's just handfuls of people that it took just a never-ending level of effort to pull this event off, and I truly do believe that moving forward, this S30 championship this week at the Wide World of Sports has forever changed the landscape of the sport as we know it at this level. I just truly think that what's going on here is super special, and that next year this event will be twice the size that it is this year.
I hear you there.
Now batting number 6. Batting first hole.
And if it wasn't for the dedication of all the people that I mentioned and those that I even didn't mention, you know, this would not have happened. And you heard Johnny and I talking earlier in this game about the 2.5 years that went into the development of this program and the development of this event. And it's just, it's been a wonderful week of baseball.
Popped up, and it is caught. And the Navy team, right on cue, wraps things up. And they are going to win the final game of the night. Well, if you love baseball and you're with us, obviously you love baseball if you're with us at 2 a.m. We're back here Friday and Saturday right here at Champion Stadium. All-American games. 3 Friday, starting at 9, 3 Saturday. And that's what we got on the docket.
We made it through the day, through the night, through the morning. I don't know. We made it through it.
Thanks so much, everyone that's watched. Thanks so much to our crew back in Beer, right here at Champion Stadium. For Matt Trebuchan, Lindsay Schmidt, Ashlyn Sullivan, our entire USSSA live crew, both here and in Vieira. Bernie got there saying good night from Champion Stadium. Thanks so much for staying with us and enjoying the 14U S30 top prospect games all day long from Champion Stadium. We'll see you with the Pride game tomorrow night from Space Coast. If you're looking for baseball, we'll see you right back here Friday and Saturday for the USSSA All-American Games.